point in life where I doubted myself, and that's why I'm at where I'm at today. Because a lot of people doubted me. By God's grace, I got that knock on the door from Love Island, and they said, "Yo, do you want to come?" I said, "Bring me there." The drive from my house to Heathrow Airport was like an hour and a half. I cried the entire time.
Because you knew your life was going to change. Welcome to another episode of With Nyasha Michelle, and it is going to be a very exciting one today because I have someone that a lot of you ladies, wink wink, already know and love, and is drinking a little bit of, just a sip of water. Deji, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. You're heating up the place. You had to, have a...
My lips and my mouth are a bit dry right now, man. So, you know what I'm saying?
We got to make sure that you stay hydrated.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining me on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
I have so much to talk to you about, but you know what? We're going to start at the beginning because some people know you, some people...
Yeah, some people don't. Yeah, some people don't.
Mm-hmm. And this is where we come over here for people to gain some new
100%.
fans.
Yeah.
Let's start with a question I love asking everybody. Mm-hmm. Tell me about a defining moment that set you on the path that you're on today.
Betting on myself. There was a point in life where I doubted myself and didn't put 100% into myself. And that's why I'm at where I'm at today.
Oh.
Because a lot of people doubted me and I believed in myself 100%.
Okay, so you bet on yourself, believed in yourself, and then you made a step. What was that
100%.
step that you made?
There's many steps, so I can't just say it's one step.
Okay.
I think it's stupid for me to say this, but proving people wrong was my main motivation because a lot of people said I couldn't do a lot of stuff that I said I could. Wow. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just put my mind to it and just the proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding, and you're right
say.
here opposite me.
100%.
For those of you who don't know who Deji is, firstly, where have you been? And then secondly, it's okay, let me tell you. So Deji, right, came to us, I guess more people got to know you from you being on the reality show Love Island.
Yeah. That's where majority of people would say they would know me from. Yeah.
And you definitely came and caused a bit of a nice good stare.
A little bit,
Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. Okay. Because what I really love to do on this show is to get to know the person behind the name.
100%.
Yeah. I know you've spoken to quite a lot of people, and some people, even the way that they were introduced to you was on TV.
Yeah,
so
100%.
They feel probably like they know you. And then social media, you've carried on, you're still in the public eye. But tell me who Deji was before Love Island.
I would say Deji was a very delusional person.
Yeah, Delulu.
Yeah. Reason being, I was a boy with a big dream, which everyone would think was outrageous, if that makes sense.
What was the dream?
I always saw myself in the public eye to a certain degree. Do you know what I'm saying? But more for music than from the entertainment side. Yeah, it was a bit mad. So like when I was a bit younger, I could sing. Then I hit puberty.
Because I was about to say, you're going to, sing for me.
Yeah, I hit puberty, and then, my voice deepened, and then, I wasn't able to sing anymore. So I was kind of like, I was lost for a while. But I just never lost the passion and the dream of doing something. I always had that thing where I was like, I know I'm more than what I'm doing now. Wow. But I just never had that, end goal of, okay, this is what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? But I just knew... I just had something about me where I was like, I just knew there was a place for me somewhere. Do you know what I'm saying? In the public eye. And it's crazy to say that. I think a lot of people will be like, oh, you need to be humbled and stuff like that. But it's like, it's not the case. Do you know what I'm saying? But it was just kind of...
not being humble though.
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? And this is what fascinates me. And I would love for you to expand on it a little bit more for me, just from your experience. I always get fascinated by people who know that they're going to be great in some way.
Yeah.
And let's not pretend that everyone in the world, sees their potential. Everybody has potential.
Yeah, 100%.
But there are people there who I have met who are just like, and we know celebrities, like from when I was a little kid, I just knew I was meant to be on the stage.
Yeah.
For you, was it anything in particular that happened to you as a child? Anyone who spoke to you? Or did you just know?
I couldn't tell you, like, my mum's always said it, like, there was always, like, I always had that, I said it.
Wow.
For her, obviously, from a Nigerian background, they just kind of, they think as a child you're in a phase and you'll grow out of that phase and then you'll kind of come back to reality kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was always something that I stuck by and I stay by to this day. Like I was always like, there's something bigger out there for me. I knew academically that wasn't a bit of me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's fine. Like some people can go and become a doctor and a lawyer and stuff like that. And when I was hearing all that stuff, I was kind of like, I just knew that wasn't my calling, if that makes sense. Yeah. But if I'm honest, I couldn't tell you what I can't sit there and be like, as a kid, I was gonna grow up and go on Love Island. Love Island didn't exist. Do you know what I'm saying? But I just knew some way or another I was gonna make it make sense. Do you know what I'm saying? And by God's grace, like it happened, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? So here we are now.
Wow. So what was Deji like in school?
Confused. Really? Do you know what I'm saying? Like I moved about quite a lot. Like I moved from London to a place called Bedford. And when I first started in Bedford, I was being called Samuel. Didn't know what was going on there.
Tell me about that.
That's when I found out that Samuel was my first name on my birth certificate. I didn't know that. Even my own mother doesn't call me Samuel. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? My siblings, no one calls me Samuel. So for me, that was like a bit of a culture shock. And then I moved about from school to school for like a while, if that makes sense. So it was like, it was always being confused on where I belonged, if that made sense. Because it was, I never had a place where I could be like, oh, I call home, or like having like friends I could say I've known from when I was a child to now. So yeah, confused, if that made sense.
Why were you moving around school so much?
Obviously my mother met someone. So we moved from London to Bedford because we'd never heard of Bedford before. And then it was kind of like moving from area and area to where they purchased a house and then they called home, if that makes sense. So like obviously when you move from area to area, you move from school to school, if that makes sense. So it's like, that's why like I was here, there and everywhere, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And we have a little bit of parallels, right?
Yeah.
So my name is Nyasha Michelle.
Okay.
When I was growing up, Nyasha.
Yeah, okay.
This was me growing up in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
I come to the UK, I get registered in my first school.
Okay.
And it's Nyasha.
Yeah.
Fine. But funny enough, the adults, the teachers could never learn how to say my name.
Yeah.
But the kids were so able to say my name, right? And then I moved to a different school. Because like you, we moved around quite a bit.
Yeah.
So like I was in one school, and then I was only there for like a few months, and then I went to another school, and then I moved to another school. Yeah. When I moved to my final like school that I ended up doing like I think year 8 till graduating at school, I was Michelle.
Oh, okay.
But I did not know why I was Michelle.
Yeah.
I just went and...
So that's not in your name at any...
It is my name.
Okay,
It's my middle name.
Okay, yeah.
So Michelle still is my middle name, but I don't know why I got registered as Michelle.
Okay.
And funny enough, I've told the story before, but I've realized I've never asked my mom, like, why did you end up registering me as Michelle?
Me, I asked.
You did?
Yeah.
And what did she say?
So, because I didn't understand the whole Samuel thing, but it was my stepdad that enrolled me into the school in Bedford, which is the reason why the whole Samuel thing came.
Yeah.
Deji was always been my name. Like, I didn't know Samuel until that day when someone was saying Samuel, and I was like, what? And then until they said, they tried to say my last name, which is Adeniyi.
Yeah.
And then when they started struggling, I was like, oh, that is my last name. Obviously, I'm new to the school, so I don't know who Samuel could be or who is. Do you know what I mean? I've moved to a whole different place. I don't know who this is. So it's like, once that happened, I asked my mom, she was like, oh, she explained the whole situation. And then she was like, yeah, he enrolled you, and that's why you went by Samuel, which played a key part in my life, though.
Okay,
played a key part in my life. Because when I was like working in jobs and stuff, I went by Samuel. Reason being, I know a lot of people sit there and say, oh, like, people struggle to say like your black name and African name or whatever, which we all go through.
Yeah.
For me, the reason why I did that was because, and it's yet again playing on the whole delusional thing, you people know me as Samuel. Deji's not here, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? When I work in this place and this isn't Deji that you guys know. This is Samuel. I come in my little suit and tie. I do my little job and I go home. Do you know what I'm saying? Deji is home, but this is not where I belong. Do you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, it's funny because someone messaged me recently and said, oh, why do you go by like Deji? Like, where do you get that from? Is that a stage name?
My
And
gosh.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Because they're like, oh, you're still Samuel to me. I don't know you, bro.
Wow.
No, that's not even me. Like, I'm not violating you on anything like that. But I did not want to get comfortable in the situation that I was in for me to not strive to where I wanted to be in life. Do you know what I'm saying? If everyone called me as Deji and everyone knew me as Deji, I would probably be still comfortable in that situation to stay there. When they were calling me Samuel, it made my skin itch.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm not comfortable here because my own mother doesn't call me Samuel. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, even now, me in saying this is making me move about in the chair a bit. So I was like, yeah, like, so a lot of people would sit there and be like, oh, that's Samuel. And you'd be like, what the hell is that? Do you know what I'm saying? But that's because I was like, I want you to address me as that because when I get to where I'm supposed to be, Deji, which is my name that I go by forever, it's on my driver's license and everything. I will show you lot. But you will know my address.
Yeah, no, we're not
So
going to
we're
do
not
that.
gonna do that.
We don't
It's
want to
all,
give you some stalkers.
It's on my passport,
Nope.
my driver license, everything Deji. But Samuel is what I go by for people that I don't want to be associated
Got
with.
it.
Like, no disrespect to you. People that I speak to on a daily still call me a Samuel. But yeah,
So does that mean that if we have two people watching right now, one knows Deji, another
one
person
knows
knows
Samuel.
Samuel, they know two different people?
Yeah, completely different people.
Wow, okay, what's the difference between Samuel and Deji?
Samuel was a very lost individual. Going back to the whole confused thing as a child, I was just in a very delusional state of I felt bigger than what I was and where I was at that point in time in life. So it was, once I knew where my calling was, Deji was gonna be the person that everyone would know, and the name will be in starlights and everything like that. It then goes back to the delusional thing because a lot of people will want to bring you down to earth and be like, yeah, that's everyone's dream. Everyone wants to be a superstar. Everyone wants to sing and everyone wants to dance and everyone wants to be a rapper and da. But it was like, okay, but you people who know me as Samuel, the ones that with that mindset, everyone who believes in me, who actually really knows me and is going to be there with the journey. Maybe they might not 100% believe it, but they're here for the ride. Will know me as Deji.
Wow.
So those are two completely different individuals. You know what I'm saying? The Samuel, I was humble and I kind of sat down. I was like, yeah, no, I hear it. I took my ish as Deji. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll let the proofs in the pudding. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
what that's giving to me is like knowing and holding on to your African identity.
yeah, 100%.
Was very key
100%,
in you being who you're called to be.
100%.
So if there's someone watching here, because there's quite a few people, and this will be people even from like Asian backgrounds.
Yeah,
I remember going to school, university. I had Chinese friends particularly who had their own Chinese name, and then they had this English name.
English name.
Do you know
I feel
what I
like
mean?
everyone has that in their culture. They have that English name.
Yeah, but I feel like that shouldn't be a thing. You should be comfortable to be.
I agree. I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
But
I do agree with that. But there shouldn't be a but. There shouldn't be a but.
Okay.
But there is.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do agree with what you're saying. There shouldn't be that. I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say it. But there shouldn't be that name that you go by just because you want to adjust to other people's means.
Yeah. No,
you know what
I
I'm saying?
definitely agree with you. And I love the fact that I'm sitting here in front of Deji, but also you have the ability to share an experience, which I think,
100%,
people either appreciate or have also gone through. I went through that. And then after a while, I was like, no, I'm reclaiming Nyasha.
Yeah.
I don't know why, you went and you registered me as Michelle.
Yeah.
I love my name because it's still my name, but both of them are my identity, I would say.
Michelle's a good name, though.
Thank you, it is.
You could have been given something like Amy or something. I don't know. Do you a name that doesn't suit you? Samuel doesn't suit me. Do you know what I'm saying? Certain people maybe look at me and think I look like a Sam or Samuel.
You look like a Samuel, though.
Madam,
I'm not going to lie.
Oh my. Okay, I claim Samuel. My father gave me Samuel, so yeah, I claim it. Do you know what I'm saying?
All right. So then Deji got into that space,
Yeah.
that headspace of, I know who I want to be, and were you like kind of like tearing yourself away from Samuel? When did you begin to start making those moves to essentially where you got to now?
I was like 24. No, I'm lying. I was 25. When I was like, so I started a job when I was like 19, 20. And I said to myself, I'm here for 6 months.
Wow. Okay.
maximum 6 months just to get me on my feet, get a little money in my pocket, and then I'm leaving. But then it got to a point where 6 months turned into a year. And then you're like, okay, the plan didn't really...
plan is not...
Yeah, the plan is not planning. And I was like, okay, well, things are not going to plan. Because at the time I wanted to rap. That was my thing. So I was like, all right, so this is going to fuel my rap career until I took off on that.
Yeah.
It got to a point of you're partying, you're being very, not lazy, but I think you're enjoying life and the freedom of life. And then I said to myself, listen, you got 5 years in this place and you need to leave. I turned 25 and it was getting, I remember April 2022, it was getting to that 5-year mark. And I said to myself, listen, bro, it's turning 5 years. There's a lot of things that happened in my life beforehand, but I was like, I'm quitting my job. I had no plan B, plan A, or whatever. I quit it. And I just said, I bet on myself 100% I'm going to become a content creator at this point. Because the rap thing, I was doing the whole Afro swing thing. That time went and gone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I can't do this fast rap stuff and all that stuff. I was like, this music thing's done. I need to figure something out. So I was trying to get in my YouTube bag. So I quit my job and I just said, I'm going to go all in on YouTube. I was at my mum's house. I was trying to sell my car and everything. I quit my job and I said, yo, like, this is what I want to do. My mum said, you're nuts.
Yeah.
Took my private plate off my car and I said, this is what I want to do. Do you know what I'm saying? It's 2022. I was doing it. I was doing like another job on the side while I was trying to figure it out. I was flying to countries and shooting vlogs and stuff like that. I really bet on myself. So when people try and downplay me and say, oh, you're only in this position because I Love Island, bro, like I was doing this before that.
You started planting before.
Yeah. So I built my platforms. I was on 6,000 on Instagram and like just about to touch 10,000 on TikTok. I had like a couple hundred on YouTube and I was going at it. By God's grace, I got that knock on the door from Love Island and they said, yo, do you want to come? I said, bring me there.
Hi, you said, and I'm going to make sure.
All I needed was that platform, do you know what I'm saying, to fuel my delusion. Do you know what I mean? And it happened, do you know what I'm saying?
What job were you doing before, the one that you quit?
So I worked in accounts management. So I worked, I'm not going to say the company, but just your bog standard office job where there was no sort of progression in it.
Jeez,
Yeah, man. No progression. But I was happy in it.
Oh, okay.
Only because, I learnt the loopholes to make myself comfortable.
Oh, I like that.
If I talk too much, I'll snitch and be in
Let us
trouble.
not get anybody in trouble.
Yeah, let me not get myself in trouble. But before COVID, I was gonna quit anyway.
Okay.
So I'm tired of this place. I'm quitting. COVID happened. You're working from home for 2 years. No car was moved. The money was going straight in pocket. There was no outgoings.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? So then that took 2 years of my life.
Yeah.
And then I was these lot were loving having me about. But yeah, man, it was time for me to leave.
And then the knock came. So
Yeah,
Love
so
Island, how did Love Island happen?
So the whole Love Island thing is a very long story.
You can chop it down.
Okay, so it started in 2019.
Yeah.
I was actually going to do a story time on TikTok.
Oh, okay. You can start right here.
All right. So I basically watched Love Island in 2019. There was a girl introduced me into Love Island. Had no idea what it was.
As we do, girls.
Yeah, had no idea.
You gotta watch this with me.
But for me, I had alternative interiors. You know, I thought this would get me into the good books.
Got it.
I just moved out at that time. I had my own gaff, and she was like, "Oh yeah." We met up. Took me a while to meet up with her. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go home to watch Love Island."
Yeah.
I said, listen, you can come to my place and watch this Love Island thing. I don't know what the hell this
and
is.
chill.
Yeah. So we started watching it. From the first day, turned to a month. Do you know what I mean? Month came to Casa Amor.
Yeah.
Ovi now steps in.
Aha.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So to me, this whole Love Island thing was interesting after a while because obviously I'd watched it for a while.
Yeah.
Ovi came in and it was like a massive shock for me. Because at that time, I had not seen anyone who I resonate with on TV.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of people at the time, where I live is heavily Caucasian. So don't know if y'all are racist or something. But at the time, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you look like that guy that's on TV right now."
Oh my gosh. They see one black
Glazing me.
person.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's
But
you.
then it got to a point where there were more specific similarities, where they were like, "Oh, your vibe's the same. Like, you just seem very like chill back. Nothing really stresses you. You remind me of my man." Do you know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay. At that point, I was understanding it. Looks wise, the guy's the GOAT. Not saying I'm chopped or anything, but I'm just not. You know your levels. You know what I'm saying? Ovi's the GOAT. Do you know what I'm saying? So. But one thing that I was getting at the back of the compliments was a lot of, but you'll never do that though. You'll never go on that show.
Seriously?
Yeah. And it used to make me question myself because as a human being, we all have feelings. So I never really understood what that backhanded compliment really meant, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I never really understand that. Because I was like, okay, well, if you're saying looks-wise, I'm similar, vibe-wise, I'm very similar. So why don't I fit the bill to be able to go on that type of show? So then I kind of looked at myself. At the time, I had dreadlocks.
You had dreadlocks.
That's why I never understood why there was
of this.
Yeah. That's why I never understood why image-wise there was a similarity. Vibe-wise, I understood.
Maybe face structure, because I definitely would say that.
Yeah. Now. Short trim and stuff, face structure, yeah. But at the time, I never understood it, if that makes sense. Very skinny. Do you know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of something now. Very skinny at the time. And I looked at myself and I said, why? Like I questioned myself a lot. But instead of taking it in a way of getting back in my show, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna prove you wrong. So there was a lot of things that I did, like going to the gym. Unfortunately, COVID happened. We didn't go to the gym for a while, do you know what I'm saying? So I cut my hair in 2020 because I couldn't go to the gym. And then started going to the gym and stuff. And then I started doing the whole social media thing, taking pictures, getting in my little first trap bag.
Yeah.
And then I was at my job. I got a message one time from a scout. And they were basically pitching to me a TV show. And they were like, would you be interested?
Yeah.
I said, okay, listen, there's an opportunity. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was going to be Love Island. I spoke to, they were like, are you free for a call? I spoke to him. I ran to my car, spoke to him on the phone. And then they like pitched the show. Just like they were going on about it, on about it. But it didn't sound like Love Island.
Yeah.
And then they were like, would you be interested in going on Love Island? I'll tell you now, I could have cried. I swear to you, I could have cried. Because my whole life was like, it sounds mental, but my whole life at the time was proving people wrong to look like I could go on the show.
Wow.
But not to go on the show. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't think it's bad and sad to think that, but I didn't think I was good enough.
Wow.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because everyone that was going on there was superhumans. Do you know what I'm saying? Ovi's like 6'8". I'm only 6'1". Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm still 6'1". Do you know what I'm saying?
You're still taller than a lot of guys.
Than a lot of people. But then, and then I went through the whole process and stuff like that. Didn't get on that show. They went with Aaron Francis and then went with Teddy. And I was like, okay, cool. But it took a massive hit to my ego because I went round and I told everyone. You don't know who knocked on the door. I'm going on Love Island. I was flexing on everyone. But it turned me into a bad person. Really? I didn't take it in a positive way. I took it in a way of like, I was showing off and I became very arrogant and very, became a very nasty person. And when I got rejected from that show, it was very, it brought me down to earth a lot. Humbling, because at that point in time when I was supposed to fly out and go to Castro and More and stuff, I'm still here with you people who I was calling commoners. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was a very humbling experience. And it burnt me for like 2-3 months. And then I took it on the chin and kind of fueled the disappointment into, okay, cool. Well, I got to do something with this. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been, let's not take it in a negative light. Let's take the positive from the situation where the scouts actually took an eye upon me, brought me to the studios. I went through all of that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I started doing the YouTube stuff. I started doing the social media stuff properly.
Yeah.
When I went to make it full time, they were sending me emails saying, Love Island sent me emails saying, listen, the application's there, just reapply. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And at the time, I was like, nah.
You weren't, so you decided, no, I'm not doing it again.
I was like, nah. I think it was I doubted myself a lot because it hurt me, because it was just the burden of like not doing it. You lot violated me. I couldn't believe it. And then I went to Cyprus. I remember being in Cyprus and I was just drunk in Cyprus, and a lot of randomers, like, because they're locals, we're not talking about English people.
Yeah.
They were calling me Love Island. They didn't even know my name. It sounds nuts and it sounds very made up, but they were saying they were just calling me, oh, Love Island, Love Island, Love Island boy. So I was like, I didn't understand what that meant. At this point, you could have been calling me Aaron Francis. At this point, you could have been mistaking me for Ovi. I don't know. And when I was in my Airbnb at the time, I was like, do you know what? Let me just reply to the bloody email. Do you know what I'm saying? I replied to the email, and then I heard back when I got back from the UK, and they were like, oh, can you resend? Because I had to do an audition tape. They're like, can you resend this? Can you redo this? And I was like, no, I'm not doing it, because I'm sober now. I'm not doing it. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. But I was in my job one day, and these lot had given me headache. They gave me a headache, and I got another reminder email. I was like, bro, I'm not in the mood to redo this tape, this audition tape. I'm not in the mood. But I messaged my mum, because I sent my audition tape to my mum. Yeah. And I messaged my mum, and I was like, Mum, you still got my Love Island audition tape? She was like, yeah, why? And then I was like, can you send it to me? She just sent it to me. Like, she didn't really ask questions. My mum loves that video. She just sent it to me. And I sent it off. They called me like a week later. No, they called me a couple hours later. I'm lying. Wow. They called me a couple hours later, and then they were like, can you do a Zoom call? Did a Zoom call a couple days later, and I was bashing through it. This was in April. So towards the end of April, we're forgetting that everyone, they shoot in June. Yeah. So I have to get this done ASAP. So we're doing all this stuff. But they were proper, when I was zooming through it all, I did my last audition with them, so the producers, and I was just talking to them, and just like how we are now, the producers were behind the camera. I can't see them, I can just see a camera, and I was just talking the way I was talking and stuff. There was no laughter, no facial expressions, nothing. And then after it was done, I was like, cool. I didn't know if I got it or not. Or now the way they were talking to me, I didn't know if I was actually going on Love Island, or if I was gonna. I don't know if you guys have seen with the adverts. They do like Love Island adverts at some point, but they have like people that aren't actually on the show doing the adverts sometimes. Yeah, I think I've seen that. Very random, yeah. I thought I was doing that. The way they were talking about it, I thought I was doing that. I didn't think I was actually going on the show. And then yeah, they called me again. They were like, listen, we absolutely love you. Ideally, we would have wanted you to go on as a OG at the start for season 8. But they said that they have their cast. And they were like, because of how your personality is, we would have put you as a bombshell, but how your personality is, would rather you as a Casa Amor person. Would you accept that role? And they were like, but this, wait, is with Lawan, they know their words. They were like, this isn't 100%. Like, you could come out and get sent home, or you can come out and end up doing something else for us. We're not 100% guaranteeing that you're going to that villa. Yeah. So I was like, do you know what? Whatever it is, I'll fly out there. So I flew out there, and then I had a meeting with them while I was there. They took my phone away and everything. They were like, listen, we want you for Casa. We're going at a certain time. We need you for press shoots and blah, blah. I'm telling you now, yeah, when, I know this is very long-winded, when I went on for that flight, when I touched that Uber, I cried the entire time. From the drive from my house to Heathrow Airport was like an hour and a half. I cried the entire time.
Because you knew your life was going to change?
No, because it was like, bro, I was tired of, you got it deep at this point, I'm 25. So I've spent 25 years of my life being confused as to like, I know it sounds mental, because a lot of people are going to be like, well, I don't care what people think. It's them ones where it's like, not Love Island's my calling, yeah, but it was more of the fact that you've been delusional for 25 years of saying like you're gonna be gonna be something. Yeah, I could have gone on Love Island for 2 seconds and got sent home. I got the like, I didn't really get the best screen time and stuff, but from the small little screen time that I had the big impact that I did have. So for me, it kind of then backed up the fact that I backed myself 100%, and I always knew that I had some sort of bigger impact and bigger calling. Do you know what I mean? Okay. when I was in that car, from the pain that I was having a year ago, and people sitting there saying you can't go on that show, you're this, you're that, blah blah blah, violating me in my face. I'm grateful for all of you that are violating me in my face because it gave me the battery in my back that I needed. But man, I cried, man. I can't lie, I cried that entire journey. I cried, man, because I was like, bro, like, flip, like the whole not understanding where life is going is over at that point. Not like, it's hard to say, but yeah, it is, because the proof's in the pudding now. It's done, innit? We're 3 years later, we're still here.
Yeah.
But it's done. Like now, like I was like, the battle of not understanding myself is done.
Was it about the show being Love Island?
Nah.
Or was it about an opportunity where you got to be, let's just call it in this way, where you got to be on a platform and on something that not the average person gets to be on?
Nah, it was more of the fact of like, I set a goal for myself. I've been in the gym for how many years? I carried myself for God like a certain way for how many years? I did a lot of things for how many years? And it was like 100,000 people every year apply for Love Island.
What?
They choose less than 40.
Yo,
do you get what I'm saying?
Stats.
For me, it was being in that category of people being doubted. My manager in my old job they used to make banter about me going on that show. They used to like do the application for me and laugh the entire time. Oh my. Do you know what I'm saying? They used to type in Samuel and and do all that stuff, and they had it in their tab. And like, say if we did Zoom call meetings and stuff like that, and I would always see that tab, and it used to not burn me, but I would always be like, one day you lot are actually gonna like, I'm gonna have my I told you so moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Forget it's Love Island. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like for me, that's my I told you so moment.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Wow.
I would say the N-word, but gotcha, Nuggets. Gotcha, Nuggets. You know what I'm saying? You lot laughed and joked and violated. What now?
I can't believe you went through that though.
I went for a lot, bro.
Sounding like bullying.
Bro, do you know what it is? It's not... I don't want to say it's bullying, yeah, but what I want to say is it's a lot of people they live in a world where everyone sits there and says you need to come down to reality. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think because they don't strive high enough for themselves, they need to drag you down to where they are. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it was. And yeah, going through that and living through that situation was banning me. But it was like, I believed in myself so much where I was like, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You'll be all right. Do you know what I'm saying? You'll be okay. That's what my main thing was. It was getting there was the problem. Do you know what I'm saying? But, bro, man, by God's grace, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I hope you are enjoying this episode of With Nyasha Michelle, but I did have to interrupt you a little bit to remind you, are you subscribed? I know you're enjoying the content, so make sure that you subscribe, but also don't forget to like, share, and comment. Put something in the comments there. What's your favorite bits? What's the bits that you don't like? Who do you want to see me talk to next? All right, you can go back now. I have a question that I'm sure some people also have. Yeah. What is the process of applying for Love Island like?
Flip. I don't know what the process is of applying from scratch.
Oh yeah, because
I got scouted. Yeah. And then they asked me
audition stuff.
The auditioning, flip. A lot of Zoom calls.
And what are they asking you? How are they gauging?
It's like a job interview, really and truly. Yeah, it's like a job interview where they ask you a lot of questions about yourself and stuff. And they kind of gauge, I think, because I know a lot of people who have gone through the process. So I think you fly through the first one or two Zoom calls. Because I think they just want a list of people on the roster kind of thing, where they're like, okay, cool. When it gets to about like the third, fourth, that's when you kind of know, all right, like I'm getting somewhere. And then they invite you into the studios, and then you do your in-person meeting there. That's when it's hard. You do a lot of like tests as well. Like you have to do blood tests, psych tests. urine tests to make sure you don't have STD, and like make sure you're not on any like steroids and stuff like that. It's a big process, you know.
But they have a duty of care though. So
Yeah,
that makes sense
100%.
that,
Yeah,
all of that
100%.
stuff
And a lot
happens.
of psyche, like they have to make sure like you're mentally okay, like before you go on and after you go on.
And that's of course very, very important.
And I understand why at the time I didn't understand it.
Tell me about that. Why do you understand it?
Because you got a deep, yeah. No one ever experiences not being able to speak to family for God knows how long.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on outside.
Being in
the
a foreign
world.
country for
Yeah.
God knows how long. Being on a TV show for God knows how long. Living with a bunch. I've never lived with a bunch of people. I never went to uni. But even in uni, you have your own dorm.
Yep.
I'm sleeping, eating, urinating, pooping with random people I've never seen before on live television.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it takes a toll on you. Like I couldn't yabe for like 3 days when I got there. I couldn't poop, for people that understand what I'm saying. I couldn't poop for like 3 days.
Nervous?
Bro, I've never been in that experience before. Couldn't speak to my brother, couldn't speak to my mum, my sister, no one. Like I couldn't speak to my brethren, my cousins, no one for like God knows how long. Do you know what I'm saying?
When you feel, I guess, like anxiety.
Well, I don't suffer from that, so I don't know how that feels.
Okay. Because I'm just trying to
Not
figure
on
out
like
what
a
this
rude
was.
thing. Yeah.
So okay, I
It's
guess
just
it's
a
more
new
about-
experience.
Yeah.
Like you don't get to even see the time. Do you get what I'm saying? But that takes a really big mental toll on you.
It
Do you get what I'm saying?
does.
Like you're just lost in an abyss of like.
And I swear you guys also, when certain things happen, you're not allowed to talk about them until a particular time when they know that the cameras are like rolling or something.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a
Yeah.
wild one. But before I go to that, with everything you've told me and the journey you got there,
Yeah.
how did it feel like to you when you first stepped into Casa Amor? Because now you knew you are on Love Island. How did it feel?
Damn. I wanted to go home. We were in tents, yeah. Before we went in. We were way hours before. So we didn't watch the like season before. We didn't watch the episode before we went in. So there was a dumping. So we didn't know who was what and who was like who went home and who was there, if that makes sense. So that was one thing. The second thing was I didn't know the guys. I didn't see none of the guys or nothing. So like when we're in there, like in the tent, I was like, bro, like I didn't know what to expect. Cause to me, the only experience I have is from like superhumans like Ovi, bro. So it's like you're just there and you're thinking, God, man, I don't know what Goliath they have next door to me right now. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was like worried. And then I was sat there and then I was hearing voices because our tents are like basically next to each other. I was hearing voices. I was hearing like voices that didn't sound similar to mine. So I was like, all right, I'm not really worried about them. Then I heard a voice that was very similar to me, which was Josh LaGrove. And I was like, all right, like he sounds kind of similar to me. I don't really know what to expect. And then Samuel came in. He was in my tent. He came into my tent, and then we spoke. I saw him on TikTok and stuff before I went in, and I felt a bit soothed when I saw him. But Josh and them, like, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, Samuel's my competition.
Yeah.
I don't know what Josh looks like. Don't really know what the other guys sound like. I don't really have to worry about them. But it was Samuel, Josh that I had to worry about. Do you know what I mean? I was like, bro, at this point, I didn't know what to expect. When we went in, how I felt when we went in. Let me be very honest.
Please do.
It's been many years since then, yeah?
Please do.
To this day, I still go on TikTok. We're still getting roasted. We're still getting roasted for probably the worst Casa Amor cast known to mankind, yeah? Season 8, getting called, Chop the Island, X, Y, and Z. When we went in there, yeah, I even looked at the man them and I even thought, yo, we could be in trouble here. I'll be honest. We could be in trouble here.
You guys ain't stealing nobody's girl.
I was thinking we could be in trouble here. No disrespect to any of the guys that I was on Castro with. That's not what I'm trying to say, yeah. But when we went in, I see the women were very underwhelmed. I said, oh gosh. Yeah, I said, oh gosh. I didn't know how to feel at the time because there was no woo. When we come in, it was like,
got it.
Oh. And I was like, all right. And then, yeah, man, I was like, bro, I just got to do my thing, really. Like, a lot of things weren't shown, but I was like, yeah, I just got to carry myself as I would carry myself. Like, a couple things did get clipped from there. But at the time, I was like, listen, my guy, like, don't climb up now, man. Do you know what I'm saying? There's many years in the making. There's time to shine. If I go home tomorrow, I need to go out of a bang. Do you know what I'm saying? That was my main thing. So,
I mean, you did your thing because you didn't just stay in Castle more. You went into the main house.
To the main villa. So, yeah, man.
What were some of the things that were clipped up that we never saw?
I can't lie, it's been so many years, man. So I couldn't even chat. But it's like, it's them ones where, like, I think all of us had like many they have a storyline that they want to follow. We had many different conversations with like other islanders and stuff like that. But so it's like, obviously the conversation that we had and stuff wouldn't fit in the timeline. So obviously it wouldn't in the storyline of me. So obviously it wouldn't be shown in it. Do you know what I'm saying? So
okay. Give me one thing that is surprising. It doesn't have to be anything controversial or anything. There's just one thing that we wouldn't know as viewers about being a housemate in Love Island. Are they even called housemates? It ain't Big Brother. Being
Islanders, isn't it?
Yeah, being an islander.
What's one thing that would be surprising?
Yeah, like what's it like? I mean, you've said you guys don't have phones. We know that you guys you don't know what time it is. That's fine. I think
a lot of people get surprised. Like recouplings take like 3-4 hours, maybe 5.
Hey, so you guys are sitting there that long?
You know when you're stood there, bro, that whole thing takes like 3 hours.
Why does it take so long?
I couldn't tell you, man. They know how they want to make a show in it.
Do you ever have to redo things?
Yeah, getting sent home. I had to do that twice.
You had to do it twice?
Yeah, bro.
So you had to fake your
I had to leave and come back. I'll be honest with you, I thought my exit was a banger, man. I'll be honest, I thought my exit was a banger. So I did my exit, and then, you have to, like, walk out the door and then walk to the door again and walk out the door again. And then,
So I don't have the rights to Love Island. So I can't show a clip. If you want to know about Deji and his whole time there, go and watch.
Don't waste your time.
No, go watch.
I was not on that screen for
don't even try it. But he did live with you lived with a banger. You also gave us a nice saying as well.
Well, my personal saying is, if the vibes don't bang, we can't hang. That was my first thing. Yeah, see, banger.
I like that.
And I think a lot of people lost that because that's what I said in Casa.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Okay.
But I think where I'm known for, and I still to this day get stopped for, I don't want peace, I want problems always, bro. That one there. Me.
Do you still feel like that?
No, man, I'm older now.
Yeah, for some reason I felt like, I
was 25 at the time. The reason why I did that, was when I was put in my new situations of having to get to know other people, they would tell me go sit somewhere, I'll see the cameras move a different place, So I said to myself, listen, you're going to have 3 seconds of fame. Not fame. You got 3 seconds, but make it count of camera time. And that's when that saying, I was like, it just came to my head. I was like, bro, I got 3 seconds to make something happen. And then boom, that pie challenge, I was like, yeah, boom, this is the time.
You really came
made it make sense.
And actually, okay, I should or shouldn't say it. It is what it is. I'm not a massive Love Island viewer.
Do you know how many people say that? Do you know what the funny thing is?
Yeah.
I get approached more by people who don't watch the show because their friends and everyone watch the show, and they're like, my friend knows you. They don't want to come up to you, but I don't watch the show. I don't care, so I'm just gonna come up to you. Anyway. I'm like, yo, like, all right then. Like,
mine's a bit weird though. It's not quite like that. There's only one season I watched. Guess what that season is? Your season.
That's a lie.
It's why
though? Why though?
Because at that time there was somebody just like you who was like, let's watch Love Island. And then I got into it. And also shout out to my brother, because my brother, that guy, even with or without his girlfriend, he was still watching Love Island. And he kept on going on about it for like years, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I never thought you guys would be into it. And then that year I was like, okay, let me watch it. And that's the one and only season I ever watched.
So you were watching it to Riz. To do shakara?
We ain't finna say that.
Oh my god.
Not exactly.
Like you said. That's the reason why I was doing it.
It's not exactly like yours. Hey. Let's just say that.
What was your reasoning then?
Educational purposes. Let's say that.
All right then.
But let's move beyond Love
man.
Island, because like it's been some years now.
3 years.
Tell me about how your life has, I want to say, evolved since then.
It's been a whirlwind. I'll be very honest with you. Because of the sheer fact that there's many factors. I think I played from what I did in the show, I played my part.
You did.
But I think when it got to my year, it was what? How can I say it? For me personally, let me talk about my experience. Let's dead from the show. My image on the show was strong enough to give me the current to push me to where I'm at and get as many opportunities that I did get, and I've had from that period to now a lot, which was very surprising because I wasn't an OG. I didn't have a Casamo banger like.
But you made an impression,
Jack
though.
Fowler and Ovi and all of that stuff. But I did what was needed to give me some sort of OG statement. OG status is a push. That's a stretch. But I had that kind of aura where it was like it helped so much in my career because I showed more. It was more personality than anything.
Yeah.
There was a lot of brand deals that I got because of personality. And I've grown since then massively. Yeah. Because the way I dressed then to how I dress now.
As a change. Completely different. Let's do a before
we could
and
do
an
a
after.
before and after. Yeah, we'll figure out a before and after. Yeah, the way I dress, the way I carry myself is completely different. I've like grown so much and evolved so much as a person, as a man and a human being, as a brother, as a friend, as a son. Like since then, and I can't lie to you. Like at the time, I think I was very anti Love Island because of the sheer fact that a lot of brand deals I was getting was like, it was stupid because why would you knock on my door? I would open the door and you say, oh, but you were on Love Island, so we're not going to give it to you. Do you know what I'm saying? I used to get a lot of that. Like there was there was a stigma, or like we would reach out to certain brands and they'll be like, we would love to work with him, but because he was on the show, it's not really going to work for us. I think because that took away from, I think, the image.
Because some brands might put...
They saw it as a distraction.
Yeah, they would put Love Islanders in a particular brand, maybe, which didn't in a particular box, which probably didn't go with their brand.
Yeah.
Okay, but actually, something very key that I've always said to myself, if I ever spoke to somebody from Love Island, I would want to find out about, and I think some people might even want to know about, it's just about well-being. Yeah, how they like took care of you guys, how it was like. You really strike me. You've made it very obvious that you're a strong person. Yeah, and I'm sure a bunch of the people, you have to have some type of strength. As far as I'm concerned, you would never see me on Love Island. I can't do that. Not because I don't have the confidence. No. It's just that I think it is for a particular person. And I think when you go there, you are conscious of the fact that the people are gonna talk whatever, whether it be positive or negative, and sometimes you can't control that. So there is so much duty of care that they have, and then there's so much strength that you also have. What was your experience when it comes to the duty of care? Before, during, and after? They
babied me the entire time.
Really?
But they didn't need to, because when I came out, I didn't have any, but like, thank God, I didn't have any hate. There was no trolling. There was a couple of you that called me burger nips. I saw that.
What is that?
I saw that.
I definitely
because I got big nipples. They were calling me burger nips. I saw that. Just telling you, 3 years later, if I kept the tweet, anyway. But yeah, I didn't have any like trolling. There was no like threats towards my family and stuff. Like I had a situation at the start when I first went in. Stupid people were saying stuff when I went in. But other than that, yeah, they looked after me for many years after. They were like, they would call in. They'd be like, bro, I know you're good, but we're just making sure you're good. Do you know what I'm saying?
The aftercare carries on for a long time.
Yeah, for a while, I think it carried on for year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Until when? Until who says what?
they would just kind of like, it just kind of gets to a point where they're like, well, obviously,
this person's good.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Yeah, I think that's really important.
Yeah. Even still, they dropped me an email at the start of the season.
Okay.
Like, just giving you a heads up, you're gonna be on TV again. We're gonna show clips. We might show clips, not 100% that you're gonna be on them. Just giving you a heads up. If you need to call us or anything, this is we're just checking on you, make sure you're good. Do you know what I mean? I was fine. Apparently I was on it. I didn't see it, but my friends were telling me I was on it. But it's like, yeah, they're very thoughtful. They're very caring. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's very important, and I don't necessarily need to go.
Which I understand why, because obviously there's people that I was on with that had a completely different experience to me. Some people left early, stuff like that. So I get it. We all kind of fight our different battles, but yeah, for me it was all blessed.
Even beyond that, we also know that, you know, some people who have been involved with Love Island have unfortunately lost their lives. So that's why for me, yes, it's done because so many people love it. I mean, there's so many spin-offs of Love Island now. But that duty of care at the expense of people's entertainment, of course, is...
I think it's the same with like movies and stuff. I think a lot of people get very invested in the show and stuff like that. But they need to remember that we are all human beings, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you might feel a type of way about what you've seen on the show and stuff, and you might want to express it, but if there's a way to express it. Yeah. If you're expressing, if you're gonna message a guy or message a girl or whatever, if your sibling, child or whatever, parent, whatever, was to receive the message that you're about to send, how would you feel? Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't think a lot of people think before they send a message. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just the main thing.
I think it's key for that to be coming from someone like you, because trolling and just abuse from people online
is nuts.
It's crazy. It's prevalent. And it's like keyboard warriors. If we uncovered you and we asked you say the same thing you've just said in person,
it's not that. Like, it's not.
You won't have the boldness. You mentioned earlier that it really changed you, and one of the things that it's made you a better son, it's made you a better brother. Tell me how it's changed, it pivoted or changed your relationships, including dating relationships.
The reason why it changed a lot of things was I became less angry at the world.
Wow.
And that sounds a bit nuts. Do you know what it is?
It's a reality.
Because I'm just going to speak my truth. I know there's going to be a lot of people that will troll and say, oh, like, because of Love Island, da, da, da. You can't pop that show down, man. There's so many people that their life are completely changed from that show and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying? I was blessed to be one of them. It just changed me because I was on a different path. I was a very egotistical young man who had a point to prove. The point was proven. I can move on in life and focus on my next venture in life. Okay. So the fire within me was extinguished after that.
Wow.
I know it sounds very dramatic, but it was like there was a burn of just like having to prove myself.
Now you're like, all right.
Yeah, now it's done. It's like there's no aggression, there's no anger, there's no hunger for that anymore. So I became more just laid back, really. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I can't explain. There's no words that can explain how it changed me. But I think I grew with the situation with age mainly.
I do get it though.
Yeah.
Like it's from what you explained earlier, this really was a
big pivotal thing in my life.
Pivotal thing for your life.
Even if I was to do Too Hard to Handle, it wouldn't. It was just that specific show.
Seriously.
That people really had to hold corn and fire for, bro. It could have, bro. Even if I became a film star, I'd have to come back and do Love Island. Just to burn them, bro.
So you know what? Thank you to Love Island, because clearly you guys fulfilled a particular part of this young man's destiny.
It was more of a vengeance that had to, you know. But yeah.
But I love people like you. Okay, listen. It is what it is. I don't care. You can at me or whatever, right? But I love people who have this mentality of, I am going to do what I am meant to, what I was born to.
Yeah.
That tenacity is freaking wild.
Nah, for me, it was more of, I was doing something where you're telling me that I couldn't do.
Okay, so you wanted to prove people wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Wait, what I couldn't do.
Make sure you
I couldn't be
understand
born
the
to
risk.
do Love Island. That didn't exist. I was born in 1996. I'm an
You're
old
born
man.
to do some type of show.
Yeah.
Some type of
Something
something.
show. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but this mindset that you have is pretty interesting because you're clearly a grounded person.
Yeah.
What are some of the factors that have helped you to be grounded besides this mentality that you've told me? Like, has faith played a role? Has any type of I don't know, is it family? What is it that keeps you grounded?
For me, I have my own beliefs when it comes to a higher power. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think if what's meant for you is meant for you and what isn't. Do you know what I'm saying? When I was very braggadocious and carried myself in a very arrogant manner, I was very rude and disrespectful to people. I didn't go on season 7, which I was supposed to go on. Do you know what I'm saying? And for me, not doing that, it humbled me a lot. I went through a lot of personal trials and tribulations, which molded me into the person that I became, which then granted me to go on season 8. Do you know what I'm saying? And for me, it's more of a life will beat you down, but don't take L's as a loss. Take it as a life lesson. Do you know what I'm saying? I say double L's as life lesson because it's like if everything was hunky-dory in life, you will never learn. Yeah. If you've never burnt your hand before, you wouldn't understand what a stove will do to you. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. So it molded me as a man that I am today, which keeps me grounded. Because it was like, if you don't move correct and you think you are above people, you will be dragged beneath the ground. That was my main thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's what kind of keeps me grounded. A higher power that will just teach me a lesson if I don't move correct. You know what I'm saying?
Clearly learned the lesson, and then season 8 happened, and here you are now.
Yeah.
It's been a few years after that. So what's next for you?
What's next for me? Flipping hell, man. By God's grace, I'll become more of a household name. Do you know what I'm saying? In the light of like Harry Pinero and those people that are kind of up there. Maybe, hopefully, by God's grace, go into more acting and stuff.
I was gonna ask
John Boyega, Damson Idris, that kind of lane. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hopefully, that's where ideally I would want to be. The whole comedy stuff that I'm in now, and the space that I'm in now, more shows my personality and my range of, and it shows more of me. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is why, by God's grace, I'm here today. I can't cling on to the whole Love Island thing 3 years later. I wouldn't be here if I was an Islander. Do you know what I'm saying? But it was my, who I am as a person, how I carry myself as a person is the reason why I'm here. So hopefully some scout out there sees me and sees a role that I could possibly play or something in a movie or something like that. Or Foot Asylum or anything like that. Shout me.
Shout him.
Yeah. Then who
but
knows?
I do have to ask you one thing though. What is the one role, if you could play, that you would play?
Do you know what? Yeah, it's very far-fetched.
Listen,
but if I could, the one role I would play, if we're gonna just any role out there,
any role
would be Black Panther. It's mad.
Come through.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's mad. Damson, if you play Black Panther and you need a stunt double, shout me.
You know
what I'm saying? I'll throw.
He's got the muscles already.
Yeah, just a little side. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, if I could play a role in Black Panther or something like that, to me, bro, that's like, yeah.
Just do me one thing. When it happens,
Shout me,
text me, call me, whatever. FaceTime me on set, at least.
But ideally, even if I'm like a extra or something like that, that would be something incredible. Yeah, that's one role. Yeah.
All right, so it's been really interesting hearing about your life story. You're really inspiring. I will tell you that, though. Don't laugh. Why are you laughing?
I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm at that age yet where I can class myself as inspiring.
Listen, a 2-year-old can be inspiring, you know.
Do you know what? Okay, I would say inspiring to the younger youth.
What I would say, I mean by that, is what you telling me your life story has shown me that you knew yourself.
Yeah.
And even despite what people said, and even after getting the opportunity you thought this is for me, this is my time. And then it kind of knocked you down.
Yeah.
And you learnt,
Get your ass
you
back
know,
up.
the importance of humility, etc. And you came, and this is where you are. It's really important to believe in yourself, guys.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
what I would say. Like, you clearly,
Bet on
whatever it
yourself
is,
every
that's
time.
up to you.
Yeah.
What it is
and
that
be
you
delusional.
be delulu.
Be delulu, bruv. 100%.
So now we have got a segment called Pass the Mic. Essentially, what that is a previous guest leaves a question for the next guest.
Yeah.
So I'm really intrigued to find out what you're going to say to this question. My previous guest is Ugandan musician, superstar called Bebe Cool.
Okay.
And his question was, if you had the opportunity to, what is one question that you would ask God?
Did you make the world or the science?
Oh, this is why I love this.
Yeah, that's probably what I asked.
Because the questions that people drop, okay. Well, God, you got some time. Please answer. But also in the comments, guys, put in the comments what you think. Do you think God made the world, or was it science?
Let's put that debate to bed, I would say.
Huh?
Let's put that debate to bed.
Okay.
That's the question, yeah. I'd ask.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. What is your pass the mic question to the next guest? I'm
gonna just say something stupid. Let's do it lighthearted and nothing crazy. What came first, the chicken or the egg? That's what I'm going with. Yeah.
We like it. We love it. We love it. Hey, you're here because you're Deji. You're here for yourself, and if that is what you want to leave, we're taking it. I can't wait to hear what the next guest says. Thank you so much, Deji.
Thank you so much
for spending some time with me here on With Nyasha Michelle, telling me your story. I can't wait to see the next thing that's going to happen, and I'll be waiting for that call when you're
on set for
on
the
set
next Black Panther.
for Black
God's
Panther.
grace.
Yeah. Now, here's your opportunity to talk to your fans, new and old, where they can find you on social media. Just talk to them on that.
That's the camera there.
Yeah.
To find me, Mr. Ambassador of Enjoyment, Deji Adeniyi, on all socials, apart from Snapchat, which is Deji 2.0.
Deji
See you soon.
2.0. All right, guys, if you have any questions for Deji, drop them in the comments, and I will try not to bombard him, but maybe he might come.
I will read every single comment. If you're rude to me and you're not using a burner account, I will message you personally.
No haterade, guys. No hate, no trolling. It's all love here. Thank you again for watching With Nyasha Michelle. And if you haven't been listening and you like to be on the go, don't forget you can also listen to us on all podcast platforms. Apple, Spotify, all the good stuff. And you can follow me at Nyasha Michelle _ or With Nyasha Michelle. That's it for today. I will speak to you guys later. Bye.